guest knows. Randy Weber, Texas Congressman, joins us here on News Radio 740 KTRH. Where did all those Haitian refugees go, Congressman?
Well, good morning. If we were fortunate, some of them would have turned around and gone back where they came from. Of course, as you know, this administration and the Democrats are intent on getting them into the United States. And at taxpayer expense, of course, we pay for we are their logistics company, y'all. We are the UPS and the FedEx. We ship them inland. The federal government does it. It is really a travesty. And I've actually filed an impeachment resolution against the president. And that's one of the main problems. He is not protecting the border.
Well, among other things, we're finding that they didn't come from Haiti. Coming up from South America, where they already had refugees, asylum status, and their lifestyle was pretty good, but they wanted to trade up to come here. And yet we're still considering them as refugees escaping some sort of a horrible situation where they need asylum in the United States, whereas they've got residency cards, they've got jobs, homes in places like Chile.
Sure. Sanctuary, if you will, or asylum was designed originally to be if they were facing religious persecution, if their government was after them, if they were feared for their life because of the government, not because they want better jobs. And even if they do want to come to America for better jobs, great, get in line, file your paperwork, do it the right way. When I was in the Texas House 2009 to 2013, but before I got demoted to Congress, I was on the Borders Committee my second term, and Steve McCraw, the director of the DPS, told me personally, he said, Randy, there's 40 different Eastern religious sects, S-E-C-T-S, coming across the border. We don't know who's here. This federal government needs to do their job, secure the border. As you know, Texas will protect our border, irrespective of the federal government, but they need to step up.
Congressman Weber, what do we know about where we are sending, whether we're talking about Afghan refugees or we're talking about Haitians or we're just talking about any illegal coming across the border? Where are these people ending up? Do we have any idea at all?
We really don't. Do you know that members of Congress that want to go and visit those sites where some of these, I call them illegal aliens, I know that the president said that's not correct. Well, shame on him. The First Amendment wasn't written for his benefit. We go where they're housing some of these, of course, the illegals, the Haitians. No, the Afghans that we brought over, okay, I get that. But we wanted to go, some of the members of Congress wanted to go and inspect these places, and they said, well, you really can't go because of COVID protocol. They're actually stonewalling members of Congress from going to look at some of these places.
Well, we know that some refugee children have ended up in Chicago, maybe that because Chicago is so much like Kabul, I don't know. And we also know that we had a couple of Afghans arrested who were staying at a military base in Wisconsin for one for beating his wife, I believe it was, and the other one for abusing a child.
Yes, that's exactly right. And yes, this administration doesn't care about criminal backgrounds. This administration, President Biden, doesn't care about COVID testing. He said this during the campaign. You know, we're an open country, and so when y'all want to come on, we'll welcome you with open arms. I'm paraphrasing. And Americans have been paying a price, are paying a price, and are going to pay a price. Let me put it in another perspective. In Texas, there's 5 million students, K through 12, and about 1,100 school districts. If you did the math with 1,000 school districts and 5 million, it's about 5,000 average size of a school district. When you bring in 50 or 60 unaccompanied children, 50,000 unaccompanied children, you just brought in 10 complete school districts that somebody has to pay to educate. America cannot be the charity for the entire world. We just can't.
Especially going forward, because we're not going to have the money.
Boy, the real numbers really make a point, don't they?
They sure do. Thank you for sharing that with us. That's Congressman Randy Weber joining us here on News Radio 740, KTRH 626, KTRH 626, KTRH 626, KTRH